Welcome back to the channel, YT. I'm bored, so I decided to hit record. Let's get into some fan casting. All right, first and foremost, we're starting out with Storm. Now, Storm is one of those characters I've been anticipating making her debut into the MCU for so very, very long now. Ever since Disney Marvel got the rights back and mutants were in the pipeline. So I was like, damn, who can play Storm? And I know there's a lot of rumors going on right now about these different actresses, people volunteering to play the role or putting their name out there in preparation. But if you ever seen Jurassic World, there's an actor in there by the name of DeWanda Wise. And when I tell you, my first initial thoughts when I first seen her, I was like, damn, she can get it. Well, my second thought was, damn, she looked just like Storm, or whatever I envision what Storm will look like. She is who I'm envisioning. You know, someone who looks like her. She has the looks, the complexion. She has that. If you've seen the movie Jurassic World, she has the acting chops. At least to me, from that particular film, I think she can do it. I think she can pull it off. Like I said, she already halfway there with the looks. She has the stature, you know, the physique. You know what I mean? The eyes. Those eyes are so freaking captivating, man. Just to picture them cloudy white, you know, with electricity pouring out of them. That looks so freaking badass. But yes, her name is DeWanda Wise, and she is who I would select as my Storm if it was my movie. But let's move on. All right, so this next one, I'm pretty sure you heard people fan cast him as this character. But geez Louise, this dude literally can play so many characters that he can fit in so many different scenarios. He can do so many characters. He has the physique, the chin. He has everything that a comic book character should have physically. And he has the acting chops to back it up. And that is none other than Henry Cavill himself. Now, I know people fan cast him as Sinister and a couple other people, Hyperion. But if you want to make Scott Summers badass like he is in X-Men 97, if you want to put some respect on a boy's name, if you want to make him badass like Wolverine is, or you want to just, you know, drip him out, Scott Summers out in style, you give him Henry Cavill. You get Henry Cavill to play Scott Summers, bro. You gotta do it. Henry Cavill as freaking Cyclops is crazy, man. He already gonna be one of the people's most favorite character. And I know the MCU, they probably not gonna want to cover his face because Henry Cavill gonna want the whole bag, and rightfully so. And they don't want to cover his face up. But bro, he's just gonna cover up the eyes. You know what I mean? With the visor, that's light work, bro. You're still getting the acting chops. You're still getting the physique. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. Just Henry Cavill as Scott Summers is like, it's like no better fit. Like I can see him as Hyperion. He'll be a really, really good Hyperion too. But I think that's just too spot on. That's too close to Superman, in my opinion. And he probably want to do something different. He probably want to switch it up. I can see him as Sinister. He definitely has the physique, you know, to play a character such as Sinister. And I would love to see him play a villain as well. But I don't know, man. Just picturing him as Scott Summers, as Cyclops, man, that's a leader. You want somebody to lead your X-Men? Henry Cavill as Scott Summers. It is enough said. Enough said. I know people want him as Wolverine. Him as Wolverine is cool, but I just don't think it's going to have that same impact as him playing Scott Summers. At the end of the day, people need to put some respect on Scott Summers' name, and I think you do that by casting a big name actor such as Henry Cavill to do the role. And that's just what I would do if it was my movie. All right, let's move on. All right, so this next character is a mutant, and he's already been introduced in the MCU already. But he's actually one of my favorite characters, and I just had an issue with the character's physique, if you don't know that already, in Black Panther 2. That character is Namor. Wasn't his nationality, wasn't his race that I took issue with. It was more so the physique. He didn't have the physique of a swimmer. He didn't have the lean, you know, tall, somewhat skinny stature. Like he didn't have that type of build. And I think a swimmer, if you're going to be in the ocean, you're going to be Namor, you got to have that type of build, at least to me, to keep me from, you know, for me to see you as such a character. But anyways, if you all never seen the originals, I know Vampire Diaries and stuff, that type of film or that type of movies and shows aren't for everybody. But if you ever seen the originals, yes, it's about vampires. There's a character on there by the name of Nick Klaus. And his real name is Joseph Morgan, but Nick Klaus is what he goes by on the show. This dude can freaking act his ass off. Mr. Steal Your Girl. If you cast him as Namor in some type of multiverse, or I know you have Secret Wars coming up and it's going to be different variants. If he's a variant of Namor, bro, I'm telling you, he's going to steal the show. He's going to steal every scene that he's in. And freaking Reed Richards better watch out because he is Mr. Steal Your Girl. This dude can freaking act, bro. He can freaking act. And he has that build. And when I picture Namor, he has that slender build that goes with that type of character, man. And if they do, like I said, if they do any type of variation of Namor and MCU in these upcoming films, please consider signing Joseph Morgan to play Namor. Or any other villain. I would love to see him play a villain role too. Like he can do Namor or he can do any other character. The guy is freaking multifaceted. He can do it all. But him as Namor, just that cocky persona, that pridefulness that he portrayed as Nick Klaus, like he can bring that over to Namor. Namor is just as prideful with him and his people. He's just as freaking suave when it comes to talking to Sue Storm and trying to get at her. Like this guy is Mr. Steal Your Girl, man. As simple as that. Joseph Morgan is his name. Go check him out in the originals if you don't believe what I'm saying. The boy can act. Get him in the MCU. I don't care what he does. Put him in the MCU. All right, let's move on. One of my next favorite characters, probably my second or third favorite character in Marvel Comics, is none other than Nightcrawler. Now, I know Nightcrawler's been done a couple of times on the big screen. None of them really just, acting wise, none of them really just stood out to me. Now I love the scene of Nightcrawler in the early X-Men movie, the early scene where he was going through the White House and taking out all the freaking Secret Service members. That was dope. That was so freaking cool to see. I remember watching that as a kid, man, thinking, oh my gosh, this dude is freaking badass, man. Like he's sneaking into the White House, just teleporting, killing everybody, disarming them, and he finally got to the president. That was so freaking cool to me. I damn near jumped out of my freaking seat when I seen it. I love the character ever since. But I just don't think how he's been portrayed in these recent movies or the movies that we've seen thus far hasn't been, the character really hasn't been fleshed out. And I think to do so, you have to have a big name actor to play this role as well. And who other than Bill Skarsgård? If you don't know him, you gonna know him when you see him. He plays Pennywise. Now this is an actor who you already know can act his ass off, but he's also used to being in a tons of makeup. Like it just fits. Like he's accustomed to it. He's okay with it. Some actors don't do roles because they don't want to sit in a makeup chair for hours and hours and hours. He's willing to do that. He's willing to commit to the character. He'll give it his all. He's not going to phone it in. Like this is a character that needs to have an actor like that portray him because the fans need it. The comic book fans need it. And I think if you put Bill Skarsgård as this character and put some respect on Nightcrawler's name, people are going to tune in to see it because the guy is that damn captivating. Simple as that. All right, moving on. I want this video to be too long. All right, so my last and final one. If you, like I said, you watch this video, you already know who I'm about to say. And you already know who the character is. It's not a mutant. It's the boy Norman Rad, Silver Surfer. And rumor had it, months and months ago, that Lakeith Stanfield would be was in the running to play Norman Rad, Silver Surfer. And when I heard that, y'all, I'm telling you, because Lakeith Stanfield been one of my favorite actors for quite some time now, prior to all the rumor mill going around about him playing my favorite my favorite Marvel character, the Silver Surfer. Like before that, he was already my favorite character, right? So when I finally seen that Lakeith Stanfield was actually in the running to play the Silver Surfer, I was like, oh no, this has to happen. Like it has to happen. Like this dude can act. Now he don't necessarily have the build to play Silver Surfer, like the physique, but that's fine. He has the voice. He can play Norman Rad. He don't have to play whenever he returns into the Silver Surfer. He can just play Norman Rad. But when he actually voicing the Silver Surfer, he got that down pat. Like Lakeith Stanfield can freaking portray different emotions like none other. He can monologue and go on these long soliloquies like none other. Like the boy can do it all, man. The boy can do it all. I have no doubt that Lakeith Stanfield would freaking nail this role as Norman Rad, like without a shadow of a doubt. And they want to use Doug. I forgot the guy's name. It's Doug something who mocap Silver Surfer in the Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. He did phenomenal. So they want to bring him back to do the motion capture. I would love that too, because the way he moved his body as the Silver Surfer, like when he was on the board and stuff, like that was perfect. So they want to bring him back just to do the motion capture. That'll be fantastic. And then have Lakeith Stanfield doing the voiceover and also doing the depiction of Norman Rad whenever he's not in the Silver Surfer form. Like that would be my ideal casting for the Silver Surfer, bro. Like, but you have my money already. I'm paying to see that. I don't care how much it is. Take my money. The boy can act. The boy, if you never seen ATL, man, the boy had. You never seen Judas? The boy can freaking act, bro. Man, I can go on and on about him, bro. Lakeith Stanfield. The only thing he played in that I did not like was freaking and it wasn't his fault. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't his fault. The movie was horrible. It was the Death Note live action. I'm a huge anime fan. I'm a huge Death Note fan. But the Death Note live action movie was horrible. It was freaking horrendous. Don't watch it. Don't go see it. Wasn't Lakeith Stanfield's fault. You know what I mean? I don't blame him for the role. You got to do what you got to do. But the film in its entirety was horrible. Please stick to the anime. If you're gonna watch Death Note, watch the anime. It's a light years better. Do not watch the live action. But anyways, those are my fan casting for some of these characters. Like I said, if I like how this video does, I'll do another one with 5 more different characters. But these are the characters I would choose to play these characters in the upcoming MCU movies if they decide to reboot the whole thing and just put brand new characters in there after Secret Wars. That's what I would do. But anyways, until next time, later.